Depravity, unlike anything I have ever seen here in the United States before, has now taken foothold in our country. In fact, what I'm about to show you is 5 separate articles that I believe once you see them, they will stick in your head forever. In other words, they can't be unseen because what you're about to witness is just disturbing on so many levels. Let me show you this first article here. Now, this is from teenvogue.com, and keep in mind that this article is geared towards your teenagers. We're talking 13 to 18-year-old kids. But here's the title, and it's called How White People Can Hold Each Other Accountable to Stop Institutional Racism. During the second round of Democratic debates on July 31st, as the topic turned to race and the criminal justice system in America, presidential candidate Senator Kirsten Gillibrand explained why it is her responsibility, as well as the responsibility of other white people, to discuss institutional racism. Gillibrand spoke openly about how she and fellow white people can and should use their white privilege to educate other white people, many of who voted for President Donald Trump. To me, this sounds like an article geared at your teenager in order to get him or her away from voting for the President of the United States. It's very clear that if you're white, according to this article, that you have white privilege. Apparently, they didn't grow up in my neighborhood because I was a minority in my neighborhood, not to mention the fact that I was the poorest of poor. So tell me about my white privilege there, Teen Vogue. And this is the kind of stuff that gets me so upset because they put us all in this little cliche and they say you're all white privilege because you're white. And I get so mad because I lived the opposite life. And my history shows it. But the thing is, they're gearing this article, making it look like if you're white, it's bad for you to vote for the president. And this is geared at your teenage children. And I encourage you guys, go and read that article in your entirety. And let your kids know the truth of what's really going on. Why can't it be or say, for example, in that part where it says how white people need to educate other people about racism? Why can't we of all color, whether you're black, white, red, green, orange, whatever color you are, we should all be talking about not being racist. It doesn't matter the color of your skin, right? But yet this article is geared at the white race. To me, that's racism at its core, calling out a specific color, when in reality, all people of color should be making a stand against racism, right? And this is the kind of article that's being brain-fed to society. And it's not something that should be brain-fed to society, in my opinion. We are all equal in the eyes of God, and all equal here on planet Earth, to put it simply. Now, that's not the only thing that is going on in our culture. Let me show you this second article that I believe you'll find interesting, or upsetting would be a better word. Take a look at the United Nations Twitter page here. This is UN Women's Twitter page, and it says, being a mother means that you have penalties. And what are those penalties? Unpaid care and domestic work, irregular work, reduced employment, limited maternity benefits, gender-based occupational segregation, gender pay gaps, higher rates of poverty in your older age. In other words, if you're a mother and you have children, you're going to be penalized. How about the fact, and I'm a mother, right? How about the fact that if we become mothers, or fathers, or we parent any child for that matter, then we know that that's the best gift that we could get as a parent. Do you know, many of you know how much joy it is to bring a child into your life. And here they are at the United Nations saying if you have a baby, you're penalized. And they go on to list. That's not how I see it at all. I see children as a blessing from above. And they are the joy and light of our lives. But this isn't the only stunning article. I said there were 5 total. Here's the third one, Breitbart.com. It's Christmas. So a British newspaper is encouraging wives to cheat on their husbands again. So it's not the first time that this British newspaper has published this article. No, they've done it before. But what kind of world do we live in when you're telling your spouses to cheat on their spouse? I mean, really? I mean, let's just break down the family a little bit more. And this is what this British newspaper is pushing. But that's not all. How about this one from breakingisraelnews.com? Colorado Public School forces students to recite a pornographic poem praising the pagan god Moloch. Yeah, you read that right. And I'm not going to read the entire article. I encourage you to check it out. But again, what country are we in that our children are taught to worship a pagan god in a school system? You know? And actually reciting a poem to this pagan god. I would be livid if I was one of the parents of that school there in Colorado where this happened. I would be livid. Don't teach any of it, right? If you're going to do it that way, don't do any of it. But that's not the case. Depravity, immoralization of our culture has exploded, and there is no moral boundaries anymore. Now, this last one, I just wanted to make sure you guys all knew about it because it's just a slap in the face of our president. Take a look at Infowars.com. CBC deletes scene from Home Alone 2 broadcast. And guess which scene was deleted? The one that included President Trump. Let's just delete the president from the Home Alone series. That's not a political move. Wink, wink. Yeah, that was definitely a political move. And I believe that was the one CBC is out of Canada. But nonetheless, this is a blatant move. I don't know. It's just increased depravity all around us. Everything. From our kids reciting to false gods, from the breakdown of just households and immorality to our teen vogue targeting our teenagers. It's just a crazy world that we're literally living in. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. And please don't forget to check out my partner, HideWithLisa.com. If you guys don't have a VPN, I want to encourage you to get one. VPNs basically hide some of the stuff that you look at on the internet. It acts as if you're on another computer. And I use Virtual Shield specifically because I know they get rid of everything within 24 hours. So check them out right now, 30% off, along with a 30-day free trial at HideWithLisa.com. Anyhow, I love you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.